Whenever I see this much seething hatred, I think of the devil Laurie. I am Melton, son of a carpenter Mary. Daddy carpenter, worked on skyscrapers. Mom Marianne, I am the son of a carpenter Mary. I get to tell parables. I get to tell truth. And this is a video about that. How those who have been hijacking your calls to me for over a decade, but all my life, but I've been asking for the 9/11 Flight 93 checks for over a decade here in Los Angeles. I've yet to get one, as the devil Laurie can reach me by phone to taunt me, oh, there's nothing wrong with your phone. We can reach you. Spectrum is a little louder last night and this morning, and last night, after my motorized wheelchair Gold here had been in the shop, and they did a really good job, good as new, and I kind of lean a lot because of my spine, pain in my spine and back, and it had torn up the armrest. They had replaced that. This is before the insulin poisoning, and I would tell you that Gold here has not been out of my sight except one time. That Spectrum laughing in the parking lot. Just like Laurie, they love to taunt, especially folks handicapped in a wheelchair. Only time was when the LA Fire Department again showed me the character in bed with those cowardly Hussein placing folks. You remember that, don't you? They attacked us from the outside, a whole bunch of cowardly Husseins with 9/11. Then they attacked us from the inside, placing that cowardly Hussein. And of course, this is Hollywood, capital of the world here as far as that goes, California. I wouldn't be surprised if the buffoon Trump, you know, that you're impeached guy, Russian guy. I always call him comic relief. After the cowardly Hussein placing. And that's true. But yeah, Hollywood, California affects the rest of the world's politics. So you need to call them up, every official in California, and ask them. Every elected, every appointed official, cops, firemen. What do you know, mayors, governors, senators? What do you know about John Milton Brady asking for a 9/11 Flight 93 check in your state and not getting one? What do you know about that? If they don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is after me asking for them for a decade in their state with graphic art, with videos, they are involved in that, or they are incompetent. You need to point out California affects the rest of the United States. But back to my Laurie's hatred. The only time this chair was out of my sight is during the insulin poisoning. Yes, Misa down the street. I'm not calling her a doctor. Thought it was funny to tell me that it's slow-acting insulin. And this is a long-range kind of staged event, or whatever you want to call it yourself. Oh, I've also had some bad experience with Adventist cult folks. They're angry, they're hungry, they're just down the street. They're gastroenterologists, they're a heart doctor, they're, well, there's one more. Oh, the attacking doctor, was supposed to give me something for bone infection according to the heart doctor, but instead attacked me and reminded me of Laurie and Brady Bond. Hit my very sore leg with a clipboard. And yes, LAC USC Keck Medical's in the mix here with the 5s. Heart attack, no chest pain, put that stent in the heart. Showed me that bad character also with the Star Clinic, Sony Top. Yes, Oriental American guy. A lot of folks on here, it doesn't matter. I'm sure there's some good folks who don't have a thing to do with you not reaching me by phone for a decade, and that not being immediate news. In LAC USA Keck Medical, a lot of good doctors, I'm sure, nurses. This is about you not reaching me and not knowing when else your phone won't be allowed to work. Those hijacking your calls to me are worried enough about it to alter phone records covered up. But when you make the video of whoever is in the room there with you, you got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number dialed. 424-229-4140. You can also use my California Lifeline phone. It's a free phone because of my Gates livelihood. Whatever one thing you get when you don't get me, you're calling up countless other customers. And you get that, that's your Gates livelihood as well. So that whoever's the big name, Spectrum, and internet cable business, Walmart, or the name for it, Gates, Microsoft can be the big name. Often big names are slowing down industries all over the place. Part of the Great Wall of Evil has just me and all of my imagery, guys. 213-675-2138. It's a free phone that makes a video, takes a photo. Make a video. Make sure you got card space on those. To do that, make that video of your hijack call to me, post it. And back to my point, I'm sure there's some folks that are good and might even be one in Santa Monica. Oh, I'm not sure about that. We're Saudi Arabian city by the sea where I had to work because, yeah, my real livelihood, one of my livelihoods, building Jesus' Immaculate House, the top livelihood. You can't call me up to tell me what you believe. You can't ask what I mean by Jesus' Immaculate House. Yeah, that's your Gates livelihood as well. Your Gates to religion as well. Come see me in person, tear down the Great Wall of Evil, put something besides me and LA's scrawny palms in my imagery, and let's get started. Building those 1,000 points of light to inspire the future and present to greatness. Now, enough of that. I'm talking about the coincidences that are beyond belief. The only time gold here, my wheelchair, was out of my sight was during the insulin poisoning. And I was just trying to get a little extra sleep in bed, and housing works. The name he just told me it last week is they told me they're not doing anything about the noise from down below. Harassment techniques. And they've been BSing all over a year and a half that I've been here about that. Let me get the sugar check in or I'll forget it. BSing about this, and yes, this thing here I'm going to show you is your phone. It can be made to say anything. I feel the same whether it's up over 500 or it's 94 or any points in between. It was part of that. It's a long range thing where they were planning for the insulin poisoning before the insulin poisoning occurred. 258. Could say 1258. You're not getting me back on the insulin. No way. Hit me like a ton of bricks about the 20th of last month. I don't go to the doctor. to the hospital. I've had bad experiences, and it's not part of my upbringing to want to go to hospitals, doctors. So when I needed to go, the LA Fire Department showed me that character yet again. They left me to die. Be a part of those worried about all those 93 checks coming in, and people making video of their hijacked call to me over the past decade. Part of that back in 2014. And yes, I had those gory genetic ones. It's easy to spot that they're genetic. Same as with the eyes. I hope to show you if I can get together and get, I hope I've showed you all of these. May have showed you twice. I'm trying to think of what I want to say. Yes, this is kind of off the cuff. But yeah, Housing Works was here, James, and the bizarre thing about it is he yelled out as the firemen were here. It's kind of, he told me, I asked him while he was in the room, and I asked him to make sure my gold's here to lock up the room, and he did that. It was locked when I came back the afternoon, because Dignity Health and the LA Fire Department paramedics were still on their souls. If you're a tourist coming out here, you need to call up LA's Fire Department, LA's officials. And if they don't know what a 9/11 Flight 93 check is at this point, yeah, don't come. They can't tell you what one is. They don't know anything about the man in the wheelchair asking for one for over a decade, not getting one. They don't know about LA Fire paramedics' bad treatment, part of religious and political and business. Highlight on religious, the censorship. You don't need to come out here. You don't need to send tourists out here. You don't know if they're going to get to the hospital when they need to. Because, yeah, one, if not both, I think it is one, the one on my left, one putting me in the chair, had that alcohol on his breath. And yes, two showed up, then two more showed up to take me to the Glenwood, oh no, it's the Devil's Hospital in West Monroe, where the Devil's couple, Laurie, what I'm constantly reminded of as the screws on this wheelchair loosened after just being tightened. Just being fixed up very well. Burbank Medical. I think it got off to a bad start with them because they kind of dragged their feet getting out here, but yeah, they fixed that thing up nice. Gold here. And yeah, the thing about James in here, and the his supervisor just called to make sure I wasn't sleeping at 10 o'clock, my pain medicine, and he said he'd call right back with the number, and it's been like half an hour. So if I get a call, and I'll let you know. I'm not going to answer it. I'll have to call him back. But I want to access the Housing Works guy. I forget the name. Called to say he's looking, but he can't find anything. Have I heard from Enrique Vergara, who's also looking, and said he'd come back through with some kind of application to move. And I explained to both of them, they're like, yeah, I can, I'm a graphic artist. I can switch from sunsets to flowers. I can buy them every week at the store, grocery store, take photos of them. And everything I need to, every one of those 25,000 plus images, not just Flight 93 check, but you can find a lot of them in there. I can put my new address, stamp every image in, and that's the move. But yeah, those who are a part of that and have been desperate as hell, and that includes right up front the demon from hell, devil from hell couple, Laurie and her gay husband, Laurie the devil and her gay bride, Samuel Lindbaum, with a brother out here in LA Power and Water. I made some videos last night after Gold was attacked, and two, or at least one man out in a car inspecting his parking lot said it was because of those rock chucking videos about the Mormons, and then drove off. You find out what micromachinery, whatever the streets can do, how they can do it, because yeah, I had just rolled into the bathroom, and there on the floor was the screw. One of the screws. I think it's a dust plate, bearing plate, grease plate, whatever, because there's a big thing on either side, and I tightened it up with my screwdriver. I'm going to see how it looks. I got to go across to get some food, and I may have to look into having that food delivered. It cost a little bit, but yeah, I literally couldn't. I had to force myself to eat to be able to get out to get food. I've been through this a time or two before. The odd coincidences. I wouldn't. Let me get some of these in that I wanted to get in. As I show you my eyes, odd coincidences that inspire the this much hatred. I think of Laurie shows up on a plane or in Louisiana, one of them, and goes to that trailer in the middle of nowhere and has a screwdriver in her hand. That's that hatred. You ask him about that hatred because it affects you. Laurie and Brady Bond and Samuel Lynn Bond of Louisiana. 424-229-4140. Ask and answer Jesus' question. Is Barack Hussein Obama a terrorist? I've got mine. My chair's been gone after twice. And yes, that's the only time I was out. And the firefighters, corrupt and cowardly firefighters, were in the apartment as I left. So was members of my past IHSS assistant, who's been sick a lot lately and missing a lot of days. So I had to wash a lot of stuff in the sink. Remember, tell that joke you got perfectly just once, you never have to tell it again. This is very serious stuff. That insulin poison has my hands shaking a little bit as I'm trying to hold this. Still, I've been force feeding myself for a while. I still have that first 2 days, had that bad smell. That is the triceba insulin. You clear the needle with 2 units. The taste that goes along with that bad smell I associate with it from a month ago is still there. This is my change in eye. This is what it looked like 2013. It printed a little darker, but you can see a little, I designed some graphic art around it. You can see the lighter color right there. This is about a year later. That's probably the time frame where the most change in the color of the eye went up until recently, about a year ago when I started taking the vitamins. Smaller browner circles slowly disappearing, bigger bluer circles growing in through and around. That's genetic carpentry. Yes, I'm the son of a carpenter, Mary. Dad, the carpenter, worked on skyscrapers, Mom, Mary Ann. I'm the son of a carpenter, Mary. I get to tell parables. Make that video, that's true. Everything I say on this side, there's a lot of truth today because I'm telling you what happened to the wheelchair. What happened is a lot of desperate folks are being desperate as hell. The wheelchair, the insulin poisoning, the harassment noise spectrum, loudest day ever. And they can turn that decibel law breaking noise up and down. They can have more and less in at early in the morning, late at night. And also now the spectrum taunting from the parking lot about gold here. As the first time I saw the screw, one was missing and one was right there. It had jumped out, and I've got good. I exercised my eyes a lot, and it drew my attention, and there it was right there. And this time it was right there in the middle of the floor of the bathroom. Once again, I don't have to know how that's done. What can do it? I just have to tell you, I know it's intentional. And yeah, I'll see how things go with gold. I used I got a little screwdriver, different heads, and I'm not sure exactly if Philip said. I know they are different from one side to the next. I'm not sure if that's how it came back from Burbank Medical, but yes, that's the only time I think gold sleeps by my bed with me, especially during the insulin poisoning. Before that, he's charging in the kitchen. And I was able to, back then, before the insulin attack, I was able to either get the Lazy out there. Lazy is the manual wheelchair. He doesn't have either one of those. I was able to get Lazy, either walk behind him, or yes, also walk. It can get better, it can get worse. It's that blue-eye DNA fighting out with brown-eye DNA, and now insulin poisoning thrown into the mix. It can get better and worse. Yeah, my eyes never caught the light like that before I started taking vitamins. I haven't been. I felt that bad. I haven't been taking the pills. I certainly haven't been taking the insulin. I'm back to taking the Carvedilol, and I'm waiting to hear. So I called her 2 days ago. She's supposed to talk to the Total Remedy about sending the gabapentin and tramadol. I'll have to call and see. I'm on Nurse Flora. Oh, it's up to 21 minutes. I better put some of this in the next time. Yeah, those eyes are changing. Medical research being passed by those who have been hijacking calls to me for decades in the way of Jesus is a Immaculate House, more desperate than ever. The insulin poisoning with the Dignity Health Glendale Memorial active participation in ignoring that. They just show me something that actually works on the pain to give you some perspective of the pain. I'm in constantly. They showed me something. They said this is 8 times better than morphine, Dolpha something, I believe. And yeah, it hit quick. Ow. It hurts to move too quick. Top to the legs, both sides, hit all those muscles. I said, man, yeah, I can feel something in the muscle. And that guy took out and ran out of there. I think they were expecting something else to happen, and yeah, after giving me something 8 times better than morphine, they put me out to the emergency room. Sick, insulin poisoning causes you to be a little woozy, a little nauseous. Put me out, I went back here, and yes, I only got that 8 times better. It's about 22 minutes. 8 times better than morphine. After I said, can you transfer me to a real hospital? The Good Samaritan. And he got angry. The Ripetti like spaghetti. They're worried about the Italians for some reason. I don't see Italians around me. Oh, check out my Deus Pater's message to those rock chucking Middle East types here on American soil to do Dad knows what in Utah, and they can't do anything about it because they're those Mormons. We can't do anything about their Mormons. The Deus Pater can, and he has a message. It's my fun, a meme, a street justice fiction. It's our military pit bull project stuff. They got them under a desert, bed sheets. You gotta lift the bed sheet up a little bit so you can see that bearded, dirty face, threat to mankind face, and right next to him those Latter-day Saints LDS, clean shaven and same character. But Deus Pater says, you come here, we don't like getting attacked from the outside by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins, get attacked from the inside by that cowardly Hussein they placed in our White House. We don't like you on American soil with your cohorts, your fraud of a faith, sister faith. Remember, everything I say is attention getting. You pick up that phone when those Mormons knock, and I should have had my Mormons Beware image up. I'm not at my best. That says we don't like your case in our neighborhoods. We don't like you preying on our elderly. America's armed with phones, making videos of truth about you. Do that. When those Mormons knock, you try to call me, they can reach me by phone, ask them, what are you doing talking to a man in a wheelchair? What is your active part in me not reaching John Melton Bray, not knowing when else my phone won't be allowed to work? You get their reaction, you post. Oh, call log videos are on youtube.com/DNFD series. Come see me in person. I went on too long about Laurie. When I see that much hatred, I'm reminded of that personal knife in the back. Laurie, go see the one in the shoes right now and make that video of you trying to call me and say, what the hell do you do to get your phone to work all the time? Because I need to know in case I'm in me and my child are in a burning building, Laurie, Sam. and now Cheryl Lynn Bond, I don't know what's name, Cheryl Bond and Moot Bond, with a major water supplier to a major metropolitan area. You need to know what their character is. How does his brother reached me by phone to taunt me about my case livelihood of building Jesus' immaculate house, asking folks, get their reaction, left and right, wherever they go. And yeah, you can call it an opportunity house. Come tear down the Great Wall of people, put yourself here beside me and alone there. To build, but I have to tell you, Jesus' immaculate house, there's going to be a test at the end. It's going to be pass, fail, or purgatory.